have a new video today, a new tutorial. Today we're going to talk about the model-driven apps and Canvas app. This time we are not using custom pages. This time we are actually embedding a Canvas app inside a model-driven app form. The use case for this tutorial is going to be that I would like to integrate a Canvas app inside a model-driven app form to create and edit signatures. Basically, I have two tables. I have executives accounts tables. This will have like the name and the ID of those accounts. And then I have another table is holding the signatures for each person. So each person can have one or more signature on the signature table. So we have a one-to-many relationship. We have a lookup column in the signature table. And let's hop in to see exactly what we have right here. First thing I would like to show you basically the end of the scenario. So what we have here, as you can see, I have a model-driven app. I'm gonna go ahead and create a new account. So I'm gonna create a new user, a new executive person here, and I will hit new, and then I will just enter a name. Let's say that here demo account. Let's just say that this is the name of the person. ID, I can give any ID. And then I will go ahead and save and close. As you can see, I don't have any way that, I can basically add the signature, although that I have a subgrid that is connected to show the related records from the signature table. I'm gonna go again actually to the demo account that we just created, and you can see here this is the subgrid that I showed you before, or I just mentioned. It's a subgrid that will show basically the signature of this person. This person that we just created doesn't have any signature yet, and this is the Canvas app, as you can see here. So this is a Canvas app. This is not a custom page. This is actually a Canvas app that you can create from within the form. So you can start the creation of this app from within the form. That's when you initialize the creation, or you can actually use an existing app and you just embed this app right here. So as you can see here, this is basically a phone template, and I have this app here. This person has no signatures. Now I'm gonna use my Canvas app to create these signatures. The reason for this, I wanted to actually show you first of all that how we have these integrations. The other thing is actually to use the input control, the pen input control from the Canvas app in a way that it's a lot easier than just create the signature right here. The other thing is actually to show the signature inside the model-driven app. So in case that we build the model-driven app and we use the form and we use the field basically to as the input control inside the forms of the model-driven apps, you have to click and to go in there for each record to see basically the signatures. Here we can see all the signature for this person, no matter how many they have. I'm gonna go ahead and create the new one. So when I create actually new one, you can see that I have a pop-up box right here. All what I need to do is to enter the signature name. So I'm gonna call this one sig number 1, and then basically this is where the box where you actually sign. So I'm gonna just go ahead and have this signature here, and then I will click done. And once it's done, as you can see here, it created actually immediately the record inside the signature table, and at the same time I have the signature right here. So let's go ahead and create another one. So I'm gonna say like sig number 2, and then let's do this like this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hit OK, and you can see now I have the two signature for this person, the same thing as you can see here in the subgrid. Also, we can edit actually the signature. Not only the signature, we can actually edit the name of the signature, or we can edit the signature itself. So I can change here, for example, I will click sig 1_1, and then I will go ahead and hit edit here, and then I'm gonna actually draw my new signature. So this time let's just make it like this and then here you go, and then I hit save. And once I do that, as you can see that it's actually updated the name of the signature and updated the signature. Now how we do this, so I'm gonna go back to my tutorial right here. So basically what we are using, the tools we are using to end up with something like this. So I'm using obviously Dataverse, I'm using a model-driven app, I'm using a Canvas app, and then I'm using the most important control, which is the model-driven form integration control. This is a control that when you actually embed a Canvas app into a model-driven app form or a table form, a Dataverse table form. If you create, customized this or started the initiation of this Canvas app from within the Dataverse form, it will actually add this control. The trick today I'm going to show you, what if you have existing app and you would like to bring this app into your form. So there's a very tiny small trick. I'm going to show you how we do that in case you have that existing app. So basically the design, as I said, is very simple. I have only two tables. One is going to be the one side of the relationship. It's going to be the executive accounts, just the name and the ID of the person, and then this is linked to a one-to-many relationship to the signature, where this person that we create as an executive will have one or more signature. Implementation, the first thing is to create the tables and the relationships, and I'm going to show you, the tables that I have right here. Okay, so these are actually the tables. These are the tables that we have. So we have the executive accounts and we have the signatures. And if we check the columns right here, and while we are here, actually, let's just show you the new design of the user interface that I just found out. It's the new nice design actually from yesterday. Take a minute right here. Just to have most of the features that on preview. I'm gonna filter by, this is how, and as you can see here, the custom tables I have two. I have the employee ID and I have the executive account, which is here in this case is going to be the unique identifier. This is the system column, it's the good, and then I have the full name, which is the primary name column that I'm using as a full name to have the full name. That's it for actually the executive account accounts table. For the signatures, as you can see here, I will filter again by my prefix just to sort these custom tables out. And then I have, obviously, the first thing is the lookup column, and this is a lookup column is looking into the executive account table, and it's a one-to-many relationship. I have the primary name column, I call that signature name, and then I have the signature field, and this has to be a multi-line of text. Obviously, when you have a multi-line of text, the default number of characters is 2000. You need this more than that. 2000 will not be enough. Obviously, we will have different kind of signatures. I just sometimes, put it 10,000s. You can put it 100,000, no problem. And then this is the system column that, signature good. So basically, this is the good of this table records. Perfect. So these are the tables. So once we have these tables, you can see here that in the the blog post, you will see all these steps and some explanations of these tables. And then after that, we have the form. So basically, what we are doing, we are using the executive account main information form, and we creating this form that we will use basically in our model-driven app. So to do that, I'm going to go back to my table here, and I will go to my forms. And in the main forms, I will hit edit. And there is no need actually to really embed the Canvas app now using the classic dynamic classic view. You can actually do this in the modern design. Like, let's say that, for example, I'm going to just explain here. What I have here is actually I have this form. I have 3 columns. So this form is basically a 3-column form, as you can see here. And you can obviously adjust the column widths for each one of them. And this is just something extra. I had a plan to do something different here, and maybe I will show it in another video. So basically, the first column here, I have just 2 fields. I have the full name and the employee ID, and this is when you create a new record in the executive accounts table. You will have the full name and the employee ID. You can go ahead and create the signatures. Obviously, here will take you to the form of the signature table, and you will all do all that things. I can do this right here in the Canvas app and very quick. So the second column I have this column just, this section basically, it's for my Canvas app, and then the first, third one is empty. So I'm going to use the third one. So basically you will select where you want to actually embed that Canvas app. And then if you go actually here to the components and you search for Canvas, you will see that you have the Canvas app right here. So if you click on this one, obviously you have some properties you have to fill. Just to let you know that at this time, actually, until now, until today, at least, that this component will not work on mobile or tablets. It's web. Maybe that will change soon. So first thing first is to bind the table column to the entity name. And this is very important here, that you have actually to select some required column from your form. It's very important. It's actually in the refresh side of things. So if you don't do that, the refresh sometimes will not work. And this is basically when you actually come after you submit the data, basically from the Canvas app, or if you submit the data from the form, if you change any data in the form that you are using this data into the Canvas app somehow, then if you don't have this link to a required column, you will not have the up-to-date data into the Canvas app using that model-driven integration control that we mentioned earlier. The second thing is the app name. So you just need the app name. You go to the details of that app and you put the app name. Here we are talking about, new, obviously, existing app, obviously. So you have the name, and then you have the app ID, and that's it. You click done, and once you do that, you will see your, the app is here, obviously, because you have it existing. But now we mentioned, what if I have it existing? What is the issue with that? The issue with that is actually it's going to be this one here, right here. So if I show you here, this is the Canvas app, and you see this control here. So this is not something that you can drag and drop. This is something that it will have to be created for you when you actually initiate the creation of the Canvas app from within the Dataverse form, right? And to do that with existing apps, so we'll go back here. So let's say that we have an existing app and we have added this app, and I open the app basically, and I still don't see that integration, model-driven app integration control. So what should I do? You click on the three dots, go to classic. Still, Microsoft is getting us all these, nice tools and properties from the classic into these modern views. It's a little by little, but eventually we'll have all these properties inside, the modern design. So basically here you can select actually anything. So if you select any property, doesn't really matter, because we're not going to save, we're not going to publish. Or what I want to actually initialize basically that component, that integration control into my app. To do that, again, I will select any section, any field, and then you go ahead and actually you can double click, or you can basically click on change properties. And from here you will okay, so that's not the right one. So okay, let's select this section here. Okay, so that's a Canvas app already. So let's just do it here. Okay, so that was a Canvas app already. So you go to controls, and obviously you will add a control. This is the old way how you add this. You scroll down, you will see actually see here, Canvas app, and then here you will have to basically select add, and then as you can see here, this is where you enter the thing. So here is already linked to that GUID column by default, so that's fine, nothing to touch. Here you need to enter the app name, and you enter the app ID, the same thing, and then you will hit customize. When you hit customize the app name and the app ID, that existing app will actually have this integrated model-driven app integration or integrated control for you. So this is basically the trick I wanted to show you. If you basically added an existing app, you don't have that integration, because you will need that to pass data from your host form to the Canvas app. That's it. And obviously after you do that, you don't have to again to save or publish. You don't need that. It's already being done for you. You can just go ahead and close this whole window, right? Leave without any saving. That's completely fine. Right, so now after we have this app right here, this Canvas app, so what we are doing basically, as I said, we would like to add new signatures for a new account, or to edit existing ones. So when I open an account from the model-driven app, I would like to see all the signatures related to this account, if they have any. Perfect. So the next step that we will come here, as you can see here, and in the invisible of this screen right here, this app has only one screen. As you can see here, this is the code I have. So basically, I'm using a local variable. I'm calling this a var host model-driven app form ID. The ID is basically, if I actually go back to my application right here, yep, that's one. Do you see this URL here? This is basically the ID that we're looking for. And this is the GUID of this record. So in this, the form is basically a control that show one record from your Dataverse table. And this is the ID of that record, right? So this is what here is. I would like actually to capture that ID. So what I do, I use the GUID function. And again, the easiest way I found to do this is basically just using the control name. That's the control. That's a model-driven form integration control that was added for me, created for me. And then .data, that's basically will return the table. And then I will get the first record of that table, which is only one record. It's only one record. And then I will use .item ID. And this is what will actually bring me that GUID. And then I will use the GUID function to convert it to GUID. And I would like to have it as a GUID here. I have a gallery. And this gallery, basically, it's going to show me all the signature related to that account, that executive account. So basically just a regular filter. I'm using the lookup column right here. This is the lookup column. So the lookup column dot, and again, when you have a lookup column, you use it in Canvas apps. And this is a Dataverse table lookup column. So it's basically the lookup column dot, and once you click dot, it will open all the windows. What are these windows? These are the columns in the parent table where actually this column is looking at to, right? So all these. So one of them is the executive account basically column, which is the GUID, the column that hold the GUID values on that table. Then that equal my variable right here. That's it. And then it's just a regular gallery, nothing else. I have an image control here that will show you this image. Again, the data is saved here. This data is going to be just an image data. So it's a base 64, and you can open it with any control that open base 64 data image, right? So that's a string, and that's why you need it more than, remember when we said more than 2000, because usually when it's base 64, it's definitely a lot more than 60,000, right? More than 2000. Perfect. And then after that, I have just my pop-up. And again, I'm going to show you two things here real quick. So the first thing I have is I have the save here. So this is when we actually edit an existing signature record. So basically what I'm doing here is I'm using the update if function. The signature name is the same signature name from the selected, gallery. Very, very, very straightforward, gallery functions. Here, the signature field is going to be the signature 64. And this is basically a variable that I'm using to, get this data from the input control that I have. And I'm getting this, if I click on this, if this is the control, it's very nice to actually rename your icons. So, don't be like me here. So this is basically what I have. So when I click here, so, and again, this is going to be very similar when obviously I cannot click here because I don't have any data. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. And this is basically the button here, the check that, and this is the input control. This is pen input control. And when I click here, the first thing I do is actually I set this global variable. It's called signature or sig64. And then I use substitute function with the JSON function. I take that signature image and then I include the binary data substitute to just replace those quotations from the beginning and the end of that binary data of the image, the base 64. And then after that, I just check here. This is just to check this is a new signature, then do this. If it's not new signature, nothing here is going to be done, obviously, because in that case, it's going to be that you are saving or editing existing signature. And to edit existing signature, as you can see right here, so I'm going to just go ahead and close this one, and I come here to edit the signature. That's exactly the code for it. So I'm using actually that variable, right, with the update if, and then the signature name. If it's changed, that's good. If it's not, it still will take wherever in that text box right here. And then this is actually the important part. This is here. So that model-driven form integration control has multiple properties. You can actually look it up. Just put the name of this control and you will find the article, a documentation about it in Microsoft website. It has a method called refresh form. And if set to true, that's mean, whatever you actually have done there, you would like, obviously you saved, because we are using update if. In the other case, we are using patch to create new records. So whenever you've done this, the data already been obviously saved into the tables. What I want to do is actually I want to refresh the form. So basically I can see them immediately in the subgrid. I want to see these edits in my subgrid in the form, in the host form, right? And that's it. That's everything here. And let's go ahead again and play with this app a little bit. So again, let's go back and I will show you exactly how we're going to do this scenario from the beginning. So I'm going to go ahead back here, create a new account, last test, call it this here. We're going to give it this ID. As you can see here, I don't have anything here yet because this is not a created record. This is still, so I'm going to go ahead and save. And once I save this record, immediately you will see my app. Obviously I don't have anything, so the app is going to be empty, nothing. The only thing I have is, I know this is developer environment. I'm going to go ahead and close this one. So this is my app right here, nothing. I don't have any records. I want to create a signature. Go ahead, I'm going to call it sig1, and then I will sign number 1 and go ahead and hit. That's it. It's actually right here. As you can see, that's the refresh method that we are using from the model-driven form integration control. Can I edit? Yes, I can edit. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. Yeah, it's ugly signature right here. And then here you go. I have actually the signature and it's already being saved right here. And I'm going to actually show you just real quick that, as I mentioned, that I want to show you if I can actually go back to my tables. Okay, let's just go back to the solution right here. I want to show you actually just the base 64 data in the table. Again, this has a lot of scenarios. I cannot think about, obviously I'm not thinking to, replace DocuSign, but why not? You can actually have the signature. You have the security roles, so you can have the users to only create their signatures, to only see their signatures, to only see their records, obviously using the security roles. And the business units, role-based security. And you can use it obviously with, Power Automate. You can use it with any kind of business process flows where you want to just import that signature somewhere, right? That's it. You don't want them to sign every time. Or if you have something that you would like a live signatures. So here you go. You have this app right here, can pop up from anywhere in your form, and you capture the signature and then you use the signature wherever you want to use it, right? So if I go back to my signature table right here, and I'm going to just show you that column, basically the signature field, and I will just want to show you the values. It's basically just as we said, it's a base 64 right here, and you can see this is the value that we have right here, and that's it. So it's a regular base 64, and you can use it the way that you want to use this. That's everything I have here for you today. I hope that you enjoy the video. If you do, subscribe, like, and share this video. We will have in the end of February, the end of March, we will have actually a very nice bootcamp at 3 hours. We are talking about model-driven app and custom pages, end-to-end solutions, full integrations. We're gonna, dig deep on it in these 3 hours, show you everything you can do. And actually I have this in mind now, so maybe we will actually get some kind of, also in addition to the custom pages, let's just have these Canvas app integrated with a form, and you can just, again, the thing that you can do, it's amazing, because you have your data from the form, you have that record, and then you can do wherever there, and then you can push data back. Once you hit save or submit for your Canvas app, you can see your result here. You can obviously, from the Canvas app, you have the full function. That's not the custom page Canvas app, limited. You don't have no, this is a Canvas app that you have all the controls, you have all the functions. You can run Power Automate in the back end. You can do whatever you want in that Canvas app. And all this data that related to the data in Dataverse can be just refreshed, and you can show them immediately without hitting refresh in your model-driven app. I will see you next time, and stay tuned.